BOXEO TM's HHF boxing gloves, that is horsehair and foam padding. Hello and welcome to Fit to Box. I'm Coach Simon, and here on Fit to Box I bring you all things boxing equipment. Today is the turn of BOXEO TM, and these gloves are the HHF, that is horsehair and foam padding that is in that knuckle area. And these, as you can see, a beautiful looking Mexican made boxing glove, as I show you all the way around. And these in the white with the red and the green of the Mexican flag colours. Also just show you the lovely inside lining as well. And these are very much traditional Mexican gloves in that you can see that sort of bulbous bits at the front. You can see the triple thumb. You can also see the big grooves at the back with those lumps to track the laces across. As you can see there, you've got Torres, Medina, TM on the back, and obviously made in Mexico there. Really like that at the rear. Of course, when I first did a review of BOXEO TM, they didn't have anything on the rear of there, and I don't really like that in gloves, because if the only place you can see the brand is on the wrist, and that is then covered by tape, then what happens is no one knows what gloves you've got on. So I do like that, and I do like how they've done that logo. It really is very, very stylish and in keeping with what the rest of the glove looks like. Okay, so this is a natural grain leather, and the highest Mexican grade of leather that they could get. As I say, you've got that very traditional triple thumb there. It's a beautiful leather, and on the side you can also see you've got those welted seams, synonymous with Mexican gloves. Again, all the way down you can see the Mexican welted seams. These come in 12, 14 and 16 ounce, and they are 168 English pounds or 228 US dollars. In Mexican pesos they are 3,920 currently, and you will notice from that that the lace gloves for BOXEO TM are quite a bit cheaper than the Velcro that I did review before. I'll put onto the screen that card. Of course, that is the current Mexican made champion, the Fit to Box Mexican champion. I was hugely impressed with those gloves, and obviously this is the lace version. As I say, this version is cheaper by quite a way from those Velcro versions. The knuckle, okay, and that is quite a soft knuckle, 2 layers of polyurethane, and you've also got in there some premium horsehair, which has got some internal structure to it to keep it in place on that knuckle area. But as you can see there, as I'm pressing in, that is definitely what I would call a puncher's glove when it comes to sparring. These will be a harder sparring glove on your sparring partner than, say, a pair of winning. There, just show you there the profile. I'll put it on so you can see the fist position as well. And you can see you've got a really good punch surface there and a nicely tucked in thumb as well. Coming on to that thumb, you've got the triple thumb with the green, white and the red. You've also got that red thumb attachment there, and then on the inside of that thumb you've got some small holes. There is 6 small holes on the inside of that thumb. Wrist, you've got the bulbous padding at the front, very, very Mexican, and then you've got the 3 lumps at the rear to track the laces. The laces are well long enough to get a really good wrist by tracking down those lumps. You've also got on the bottom there, you have got the 16-ounce label there right on the bottom of the wrist, and you've got that red piping on that wrist as well. Face of the glove. Face of the glove, I don't think I've ever seen so many holes on a pair of gloves, and as you can see there is actually above and below that grip bar, you have got 16 air holes, and those air holes are slightly larger than the ones on the thumb. You've got that grip bar, which is a firm grip bar. You've got the red beading there. You've got the laces all the way down, and then you also got that green on the inside of the thumb there. Stitching, these are beautifully made. If I show you on the camera there, the welted seams, and just show you the thumb, around the top of the thumb, you've got that crimping there as well. Really, really well made. Lovely, lovely traditional boxing gloves made in Mexico. I really love what they've done with these gloves. The lining is soft and comfortable. One thing that I have been quite critical about Mexican gloves in the past is the roughness of the interior. That cannot be said for these beautiful dark blue satin silky lining on the inside of these gloves. Okay, so first up to the scales, 16 ounce on the label, and the left glove weighs 17, and the right glove weighs 17.1. Okay, let's have a look at the comfort. Slide my hand in, and straight away it just feels like you want to punch stuff with these gloves on, because your hand naturally just wraps around that grip bar. You've got a good fist position there, thumb tucked in, really puncher's glove when it comes to your sparring. As I've said, really do feel great in sparring. You can open the hand up, no problem. You've got a finger pad, no discomfort. Behind the finger nails and the cuticles, no discomfort. The thumb, no discomfort at all. And even all around the wrist, everything about this glove, it is a comfortable glove. And I think that's something that BOXEO TM have been leading the way for Mexican manufacturers when it comes to getting that comfort that I have been talking about, that you get in a lot of other gloves from around the world. Okay, let's put the left one on and see if that's the same. Exactly the same. Again, it's great when you've got two gloves that are both exactly the same when it comes to comfort, and these are comfortable all over the gloves, so that is superb. In the past, people have criticised me saying that I don't like Mexican gloves, but when I came to the scoring, it was always very difficult to compare a more rough, uncomfortable Mexican glove to the softer gloves that are out there, like your Pakistan gloves. They can be very soft and very comfortable. And when it came to the scoring, the Mexican gloves were missing out because of that. In terms of sparring, excellent sparring gloves, really, really nice. You can catch the shots. You've got good protection on the front and on the rear when it comes to the blocking, and they really do form a good fist as well as easy to open up. And these are definitely the type of gloves that get better with age. Bag work, really enjoyed these on the bag. Really good crack on the bag when you're punching. Very, very comfortable. You can do round after round after round. And as I say, that leather will become more soft. The padding will soften up. Everything will get more and more comfortable. And these will feel better in sort of a year's time of use as opposed to now. And they already feel fantastic now after the testing period. Okay, so let's get onto the screen. The Fit to Box ratings card. As you can see, a Mexican company, and these gloves made in Mexico. Style-wise, 97. Comfort, 97. Durability, 99. Sparring, 96. Bag, 97. And value for money, On 168 English pounds, that is 228 US dollars. Obviously, you'll have to pay shipping. You'll have to pay any sort of customs around the world. But I have to say, at 168 pounds, these are phenomenal gloves. Also, as I said before, the Velcro are quite a bit more expensive. So those gloves went into the heavyweight price division. These going into the middleweight lace price division on my website. That's for gloves between 101 English pounds and 200 English pounds, or 121 US dollars to 250 US dollars. And as you can see from that, these came out at 5 Fit2Box stars, 97.1, so they rate higher than the previous Mexican champions, which were BOXEO TM, but the Velcro version. These have pushed the bar even higher, which is a fantastic thing and a real progress that has been made for those Mexican gloves, especially BOXEO TM. Okay, let me put onto the screen the Fit2Box report card, and on there I have got the things that I love and like about these gloves, the features of these gloves, and anything that I think that can be improved. But once again, I have to go through the 3 things that normally Mexican gloves fall foul of. First of all, the weight. These are slightly above 17 ounces and they're a 16-ounce glove. I don't see that as a massive problem. My real issue with Mexican gloves was when they would do a 16-ounce glove and it would weigh 19 ounce. I just couldn't understand why they were putting a label on. These, yeah, slightly over, but not a massive issue. Certainly don't feel massively heavy once you've got them on. Then we had the awkward thumbs and thumbs on some Mexican gloves that sort of stuck out or that was uncomfortable, and these gloves do not suffer from that either. And then, of course, the overall comfortableness that Mexican gloves used to be very, very rough, lining would be rough, the seams would be rough, the finger compartment would be not as comfortable, and yet this glove avoids, again, all of those problems when it comes to comfort. So the weight is fine, the thumbs fine, and comfort fine. Okay, and that's all really I was wanting to see from Mexican gloves, is for those little sort of rough edges that really were holding back the scores of the Mexican gloves. BOXEO TM, definitely traditional in how they've still constructed it, how they've kept the front bit when it comes to the bulbous padding, which I prefer if it's sleeked down, but they've kept to their guns and they've kept that there. The triple thumb, the triple lumps at the back, the way that it feels, and also that puncher's glove feel when it comes to the padding, and that horsehair, and also the foam padding that they've put in there. I think they've done a tremendous job, and so these are now a new Mexican champion, but of course really it's still for BOXEO TM and still my Mexican champion, because they were the champions before with their Velcro version. Check out my website, fit2boxchannel.com, and on there you will see how these rate against the other gloves out there in the middleweight lace price division, and also how they rate against the other brands' gloves and the other types of gloves that are out there in my Fit2Box pound for pound list. That is the best gloves in the world. So one last look for you. Absolutely superb. Love what they've done. And as I bring that round, the craftsmanship, the leather that they've used, and also how it's put together and how it feels when you're using it in the gym, whether you're sparring or on the bag, is superb. So once again, I am forced to give out 5 Fit2Box stars. Will they say that Fit2Box is biased towards Mexican gloves? I don't know. Let me tell you, I'm biased towards the best equipment that is out there, and BOXEO TM is superb. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit2Box, and I shall speak to you soon.